Hey everyone, Katrina here, and today we're going to talk about even functions versus odd functions. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this and watch to the end to see the full example. Okay, so I've showed you a few videos on polynomials so far. So by this time, you should understand what polynomials are, what are their properties, and what is their domain and range, as well as their end behavior. But let's take it a step further and look at their symmetry. Through this analysis, we're going to be discovering what it means to be an even function versus an odd function. The first distinction that I have to make today is that even functions are not equal or not equivalent to even degree polynomials, and odd functions are not equivalent to odd degree polynomials. So let's start with that. What is the distinction? So an even degree polynomial simply means that the highest degree is going to be even. So say you have some function, we have f of x equals x to the power of 6 plus x to the power of 5 minus 1. In this case, we can see that the largest degree of x equals to 6, and 6 is an even number. Therefore, this is an even degree polynomial. Likewise, if we look at odd functions, what do we have? An odd degree polynomial is something where the largest degree of x is an odd number. Here, for example, we could have f of x equals x to the power of 11 minus 5x squared plus 25. In this case, the largest order or degree of x equals to 11, which is an odd number. Therefore, we have an odd degree polynomial. However, in these cases, we don't actually have an even function or an odd function. We just have even degree and odd degree polynomials. Let's take this a next step further to actually uncover what even functions are and odd functions, and let's look at their properties. So first of all, let's determine how to find an even function. So this is really neat because there's an algebraic way that we can uncover this phenomena. So even functions have this formula. If you have some function f of x and it equals f of negative x, then you have an even function. If we think back to our transformation videos, what's actually going on here? We see that we have a negative within the brackets of x. So we can think of this as a reflection, as a horizontal reflection. So this would be a reflection over the y-axis, right? If we think about our transformations. So in this case, we're basically saying that a function is even, that if you reflect it over the y-axis and it ends up being the same as the original, then it is an even function. And that gets us to the next point about symmetry. So even functions have what we call line symmetry. So this is important because different functions have different types of symmetry, and some functions even have no symmetry. So if we can determine algebraically here that we have an even function, then we know that we have line symmetry, which, like I mentioned earlier, that means we can reflect it over the y-axis, which is really neat. So if we just look at our very basic even function example over here, let's look at this one, y equals to x squared. In this case, we have an even function because, let's do the test. Over here, we've got f of x equals to x squared. And what's f of negative x? We put the negative in where the x is, and we square that, and we end up again with x squared. So we see that our original is equal to the reflection over the y-axis, therefore it's even. And here, let's look at our example. So if we were to draw a line down the y-axis here, we see that we can reflect this function over the y-axis, and it will be the same as the original. So that is even function. So let's do one more example to show this. So in this case, what if we were to have f of x equals to 3x to the power of 4 minus 7x squared plus 25. And we want to determine algebraically if this is an even or odd function, or in this case, just even. So let's test. We want to see what is f of negative x, and we want to see are these two equivalent. So we're going to start by putting a negative within the brackets of our x at every instance in our polynomial over here. So you can see over here I've added a negative in x to the power of 4 and x to the power of 2. What we can notice is both of these are even degrees, and when you have an even exponent, it makes whatever is within the x a positive number. So here we end up with 3x to the power of 4 minus 7x to the power of 2 plus 25. And hey, that matches exactly what our initial function is. So you would then write, therefore, f of x equals f of negative x. Therefore, this is an even function or an even polynomial. Okay, now let's take a moment and look at odd functions and see how we can identify them algebraically, and let's do an analysis of their symmetry. So odd functions, you can determine that a function is odd if you have f of x equals to negative f of negative x. So here we have these two negatives. And looking at our transformations, what does this mean? We already know that the negative within the brackets represents a reflection over the y-axis. And we know that a negative at the top, that represents a reflection over the x-axis. So essentially, if we do these two reflections and our function is the same as the original, then we have an odd function. So if a function is odd, then what we have is called point symmetry about the origin. So this means that, like I said, we can either do these two reflections over the x and y axis, or it means that we can rotate our function 180 degrees and it ends up being the same as the original. So let's look at another example here. If we look at the basic function, we have y equals to x cubed. Algebraically, let's prove this. So we've got f of x equals to x cubed. And then now let's look at what is negative f of negative x. So then we've got negative in the front and then negative within the brackets cubed. So since this is an odd degree and we have a negative within the bracket, our answer is going to be negative. So this means that we have negative times negative x cubed. And these two negatives will cancel out and become positive. So then we end up with x cubed, which is the same as our original. Therefore, we've proven that it is an odd function, which is really great. So that means that you can take this function here and rotate it 180 degrees, or do the two reflections over the x and y axis, and you'll end up with the same function that you started with. So that's the really neat property about odd functions. Just like we did with the even functions, let's finish off with an example here. So what if we have f of x equals to negative 5x to the power of 5 plus 9x cubed minus 12x. So let's first do f of negative x. We'll do this step by step. So that means everywhere where we have an x, we're going to put a negative within the brackets. So we've got something that looks like this. So you see we've added all these negatives, and because we have odd exponents for each one, that means it's going to turn the whole thing, each term negative. We're going to end up here with negative times negative 5x to the power of 5 here. And then we've got minus 9x3, and then negative 12x, which gives us 5x to the 5 minus 9x cubed plus 12x. And now let's add our negative to the front to see what we get. And we can distribute this negative to each term, giving us negative 5x to the 5 plus 9x cubed minus 12x. And that is exactly what we started with over here, meaning that this is indeed an odd function. So we'd write, therefore, f of x equals to negative f of negative x. Therefore, it is an odd function. So I hope you enjoyed that video today. Be sure to subscribe for more videos just like these, and keep an eye out for more videos on polynomials and other areas of math. And definitely comment any questions that you have. I'll be sure to get back to you soon. And with that, I'll see you next time.